Am I the asshole for siding with my husband when my brother kicked him out of the engagement party? It's a messed up conflict between my brother and my husband and by extension me. So, my F30 brother, Jacob, M33, and my husband, Connor, M32, have been friends since college. I met Connor through Jacob. They were so close and are always in agreement, but that changed once Jacob's fiancée, Rachel, came around. Connor told me that Rachel used to be this fun girl that slept with nearly everyone in the group. Jacob met her at the new company and they began officially dating. I too was shocked when I heard Connor told me about her a lot about her glorious college days. Jacob then announced his engagement to Rachel and invited us for the engagement party. Connor had talks with Jacob about if he was sure he wanted to settle down with her, and Jacob told him to drop it, and Connor did. At the party, I was sitting next to Connor talking about random stuff. Suddenly Rachel's phone started ringing and she excused herself to answer. While she was getting up, Connor looked at her and Jacob and smirked and said, "I'm telling ya, you can't make a hoe a housewife." Rachel stormed off and Jacob unloaded on Connor, calling him an obnoxious asshole. Connor just stared as Jacob kept insulting him with name-calling. I didn't want to get involved till Jacob tried to kick Connor out of the party. I said to Jacob that he overreacted and should calm down, but he acted appalled that I defended Connor, but I told him that he at least wasn't lying. Jacob then proceeded to kick me out as well. Mom got involved and tried to calm us down, but Connor grabbed his keys and phone and told me to follow him. We felt terrible. Connor started crying in the car and I called Mom and said while Jacob overreacted, Connor was out of line to say this in front of Rachel and make her cry on her engagement party. I shouldn't have sided with him. She told me to reach out to Jacob to apologize, but I said that he insulted my husband, who happens to be his best friend, then escalated by kicking him out. I refused to call Jacob and felt upset for being made feel bad for siding with my husband who's hurt because of what his best friend did to him. Am I the asshole? I really thought it was an inside joke between them. You are the asshole. You and your husband are assholes. Huge assholes. I don't know why it's so important for your brother to marry a virgin, but it's none of your business. The slut-shaming is over the top with you and your husband. What could Rachel do now to make herself acceptable to you? Confess all her lays and cry and say how much she regretted it? Die waiting. P.S. Your husband screwed Rachel. You are the asshole. So because your husband told you that a 30-something woman had fun in college, you automatically think she sleeps around and is cheating on your brother? You don't even know that girl. All you know is what your judgy husband told you about her. I'm curious. Since she made her way through everybody in college, does that mean that your husband slept with her as well? Because he does sound a bit jealous of your brother. I wouldn't be surprised if you're not invited to the wedding or have any contact with your brother ever again. I'm not being funny. Your husband slut-shamed his best friend's fiancée at her engagement party? How you would think that is acceptable is mind-blowing. Have some class. You are the asshole. She deserves a massive apology. You are the asshole. What your husband did was horrible and gross. What she did in college is no one's business and should never be brought up. But at her engagement party? Your husband is garbage. And you are too for taking his side. You should absolutely apologize to your brother and his fiancée. But I wouldn't forgive either of you if I were them. You and your husband need to grow up and learn how to be respectful of others. Your husband called a woman a hoe at her engagement party, and that's okay with you? The only person who is a bigger asshole than you is your husband. You are the asshole. Big time. You are the asshole, and so is your husband. Why is anyone's sexual history your business? Well, not everyone, just you and your husband. Him for slut-shaming, you for saying, well, he has a point. Also, it sounds like your husband is jealous. Connor told me that Rachel used to be this fun girl that slept with nearly everyone in the group. Accept him, right? Yes, you and your husband are ta. Your brother's reaction was 100% called for. Am I the asshole for disrespecting my in-laws and leaving dinner table after my husband's dad insulted me? Last night I had my in-laws visit, made them dinner and put it on the table while I had my own dinner, which was a yogurt and salad because I'd gained few pounds and my husband pushed for me to lose some. Anyway, we were all sitting eating when my husband's dad asked what I was eating. I told him a salad. With a confused look on his face he said, "A salad? That ain't gone, fill up your fat ass." Suddenly, some of my in-laws started giggling and my husband did too. I felt upset and humiliated. I got up from my seat and went to stay in my room till my in-laws left. My husband barged in asking why the hell I left my guests by themselves. I told him his dad insulted me and made me a joke in front of everyone. He said that I was being too sensitive and too self-cautious and that didn't warrant leaving the table and disrespecting his family. I argued that he should have defended me instead of laughing along, but he insisted it was just a joke and I should chill, and then said that he's not a lawyer or a police officer, so I should quit expecting him to get involved in every disagreement I have since I'm an adult. We kept on arguing and he said that I disrespected HOS family by leaving the dinner table and hiding in my room like I was a child when I could have just chilled and kept my cool. My mother-in-law sent a long wall of text about how inappropriate my behavior was. He may be right in that I messed up and was being a bit too sensitive, since this is just how my father-in-law is, honest and straightforward even with his jokes. Am I the asshole? Could it be that I overreacted? So let me get this straight. Your husband has pushed you onto a diet. Your Phil then joked about your weight, in your home, at your table. And then your darling husband laughed. Didn't see how rude this was? But you being upset and leaving the table was what crossed the line. GTFO, not the asshole. Not the asshole. Don't have these people, any of them, including your husband, over again. Not the asshole, but why exactly are you married to this asshole? He polices your weight and laughs when his family insults you. WTF? If a member of my family said something like that to my wife, which they wouldn't, I'd throw them out myself. Immediately. No hesitation, the next words of my mouth would be, get out. If you're looking to diet, I know a great way to lose a couple £100 of dead weight. It's called a divorce. And #X200B. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. But, when your husband pushes you to lose weight and then laugh at an offensive comment made about your body, I think there's a lot of issues in your marriage. I think you should see a lawyer to start divorce proceedings. Not the asshole. Jesus, throw the whole husband in the bin. If he is pushing you to change your body, if you don't want to, and then laughing at jokes about you, then listen to these major red flags. You stood up for yourself and left the situation. You 100% did the right thing. If you don't feel comfortable in any situation, you should be able to leave. The fact he isn't sticking up for you and instead somewhat mocked you shows who he is. You deserve someone who will stick up for you and listen to how you're feeling, not invalidate you. If someone shows you their true colors, listen. Is this a family you want to be a part of? Not the asshole. You married into a toxic family and it won't get any better. The fact you're questioning yourself if you're TA indicates that the toxicity has already affected your self-esteem. Location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag. Not the asshole. You are 100% in an emotionally abusive relationship. Am I the asshole for getting mad at my sister for telling my girlfriend about our family's wealth? My family is low-key wealthy, but my parents have made sure that we are never flashy about it. We live in the same place we've lived for about 15 years, don't have flashy clothes and cars, and generally make sure we're spending money on experiences rather than objects. Cue my younger sister, who is totally spoilt and for some reason feels extremely entitled to her share of the wealth. She just turned 21 and I think part of it is her finally getting information about her trust and in general how we stand. I'm 25, and the older one, so I sorta know about all this for a while now. Anyway, long story short, my sister ended up going car shopping with my girlfriend for expensive new cars, Porsches. My dad had not approved anything, so I don't know what she's going to do, but apparently she flashed my dad's credit card and talked up the salesman about how much money she has to spend. My girlfriend was shocked that me driving a simple unassuming 10-year-old Lexus will have a sister throwing $100K at a car. We had a huge discussion and ended up fighting about it. She was shocked at roughly how much money we had and told me I was a tad selfish for not mentioning it when she had college and medical debt. Honestly, we've only been dating for 2 years and I was thinking after about a year I would propose if things are going well and start this discussion. It's all happened a little too soon. I'm really mad at my sister and kinda laid it out on her. Told her how immature and selfish she was and how she is undoing everything our parents worked hard for to install values in us. She told me I had to grow up and I'm a wet blanket. Am I the asshole here? Not the asshole. The biggest asshole here is your girlfriend for assuming that because you come from a wealthy family, you're obligated to pay off her debt. Is this really the kind of person you want to have a relationship with? Your parents' money has nothing, and will never have anything to do with her college and medical debt. That was a strange thing for her to say. I don't get why people would be mad at not being told about wealth. Are they equally as mad about not being told of a family debt? Sorry, she wants you to pay off her debt? Just because your family is wealthy? The audacity and entitlement she has, not the asshole op. Yours and your family finances are really none of her business unless y'all get married. Red flag that she mentions her medical debt. No. It's a problem. It's a problem that your girlfriend of not long enough heard that you had money and her first thought was how selfish you are because you aren't taking care of her debt and bills. That is exactly why you don't tell people you have money. Your sister is going to get really screwed by the wrong person one day and she's going to learn to stop bragging to everyone about the money she has. Not the asshole. You aren't married and pooling assets together, she had no reason to know. That's your business that you choose to share with people for obvious reasons. Your sister is a spoiled brat. Wow. Your girlfriend thinks she's entitled to have you pay off her debt? WTF? You're not married to her. Why is that in any way your responsibility? And you for not getting more angry at your GF's entitlement while seeing it in your sister. Open your eyes, FFS. You have been dating for 2 years and you didn't tell her. WTF. Why after a year she clearly isn't a gold digger. I just don't get why you kept it a secret. This opens so many more questions. Have you guys been going 50-50 even if you have a lot more money? And so on. Or do you not even touch the family wealth? So many questions. Not the asshole, your sister is a real jerk. Not the asshole, your sister just sounds irresponsible and immature, but that's family for you. As for your GF, kind of wondering why she was mad you didn't bring up your money. Does she expect you to pay off her loans and bills? Kind of weird. Am I the asshole for not giving up my accommodation for the bride's side of the family? My husband's friend is getting married in Spain by the beach. I booked our flights and accommodation as soon as I found out the date because I was excited and wanted to get a good place now rather than later when there would be significantly less options. I recently lost a lot of weight and have a lot of loose skin. I am not comfortable at all with anyone besides my husband seeing my body, so I didn't want to stay in a hotel with a pool. Instead I booked out a 3-bed villa with a pool. It was the smallest option. The others were 7 or 8 beds. My husband told his friend about the good deal we got on it and he was happy for us. Fast forward to now, he and his fiancée ask if we'd stay somewhere else and allow some of her family to stay there instead. They said they'd give us the money we paid for it, but like I said, we got a good deal because we booked early. There are now no homes with private pools available and the hotels cost just about the same as the 3-bed villa and I can't use the pool, so I'm getting less for my money. I refused and opened up about why I wanted a private pool. She was really nice at first and gave me a speech about how beautiful I was and no one would care, but I can't just switch off my insecurity, so I said no again, and then she flipped and said I was selfish for hogging a 3-bed place because I was too scared to get my flab out. The soon-to-be married couple obviously think I'm the asshole. My husband thinks I should just let it go because it's their special day and we don't want to make things difficult for them, but at the same time this is the only time we can afford to go away, so although we are going for the wedding, it's also a holiday for us and why should I have to be uncomfortable on my break? Not the asshole. So the asshole asked a favor, got turned down, and decided to insult you in order to make you do what she asked? She certainly doesn't sound like much of a friend to me. Not the asshole. Go to Spain, enjoy the villa, and skip the wedding. Not the asshole. This is another case of people having a wedding and being inconsiderate of the guests. I'm tired of people acting like their special day means they get to treat others like crap. Your husband should be backing you up, because it's messed up. Not the asshole. She wasn't being nice. The supportive speech was a transparent attempt to get on your good side in hopes that you'd give her what she wanted. She and her fiancé are entitled assholes. Their relatives should take whatever they can get and learn to plan better. I hope that by my husband thinks I should just let it go. You don't mean my husband thinks I should let them have the villa. If that's the case, then he's an asshole, too, especially after that comment she made. Please stand your ground and don't give up the villa. Not the asshole. The property owner is not just going to turn the booking over for the same price to this new family. If you simply let them stay there and pay you under the table, you would be violating the rental agreement and the rules via whatever site you booked it through. Plus you would be financially liable for anything that happens to the property. Use the logic argument with them rather than the emotional. That might help them see reason. Also, Bridezilla. Not the asshole. Go anyway and treat it like a wonderful holiday. You don't need to go to the wedding if you'll feel uncomfortable. Just wave hubby off and chill by your private pool. Not the asshole if the bride was that worried about accommodations, she should have booked when you did. Not the asshole. You were enthusiastic for the wedding and the location and booked something on time. Why should you be punished for that? Their family could have also booked an accommodation earlier. They probably knew the date earlier than you anyway. It doesn't matter which reason you had of what reasons they have, you planned ahead and they didn't. Something with the early bird.